Happy Monday, everyone, and welcome to the Bob Randall and Company live preview show for September 11th, 2023. This is our episode 31. And before we get started, we would like to take just a moment of silence for our 9/11 families and victims. Uh, 22 years ago today, anniversary, and we'd just like to take just a moment to recognize all those fallen heroes that day from the fire department, all of our law enforcement agents, our military, everyone that helps public service in this beautiful country of ours, and to say a moment of silence for the 9/11 victims and their families. Thank you. All right, let's get on with the show here, Randy. How was your week this last week?
Wow, it was weather-wise was phenomenal. It was those 60-degree nights and 75, 80-degree days. And we had a 90 some the other day, but it was weather was great. The weekend was phenomenal. I was at the I was at the ballpark on Sunday doing magic, and so Tiger State, well, it's not Tiger Stadium. That's right. That's the old one. That's long gone. You can't call it Tiger Stadium, Comerica Park, because whoever pays the biggest bucks gets the name on the building. But yeah, it was a phenomenal week. Phenomenal week. Thank you. How was yours? How was yours? How was everything down there? You got any more rain yet by any chance?
Well, it rained just up to the Metroplex this morning. We didn't get any on the east side, the west side of like Fort Worth, at the western part of North Texas. Got some rain, but we got a system moving through the night tomorrow, the next day. So we're supposed to have rain possibilities for the next 4 days. And the real good news is the front that's bringing all that in has cooled us down.
So are
Right
you?
now, it's 86 degrees in
Wow.
Dallas, Texas. So,
Did you turn the air conditioning on? Did you? Did you?
well,
I mean, turn the air
I
conditioning
almost had to
off.
turn the heater on after
Get your heater on.
106.
That's what I meant to say. Yeah.
Yeah, it's after 106, 107, 108 all last week again. 109 2 days in a row. Broke records every day last week. So it's been, and the high pressure that's been setting over us, the ridge has been setting over us, I guess, since, gosh, early July. It had cut off the rain, like we said. So, but things are changing. We can tell it. We can feel it in the
Good.
air, and we are ready. 86 feels pretty good today. Now, again, the trade off on all this is that 108, 109 was a lot lower humidity. So it was a dry heat, like a desert heat. Today, it's just as moist as it can be. You can just feel it in the air. It's just thick here. So
Isn't that strange
86,
how
but
that is?
balmy.
Isn't that weird how it is? You can actually feel it. I
Yeah.
still. I mean, I here in Michigan we have very seldom we have dry heat, but it is weird how you just feel it. And it is weird how that does that. It's just moisture floating around. You can't see, can't you can feel, but it is a strange thing. Pretty cool, but not necessarily make you feel good though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Messes with the hair
That's all
too.
right. We'll take 86 and balmy over 109 day after day after day, the way we've had it. So it was time for changes here, and we are so happy. I'm pretty sure our local news people have said, weather people have said, we should be done with the 100-degree days. So that's good. Get rid of the triple digits. We'll live with the rest of it. So
What is your winter time like from December to January? What is the average temperature then? Should be.
we're in usually mid to upper 30s. We
Oh,
have
you are
some
okay. You
nights.
do get down to that cold. Okay.
We do get down to freezing many nights, and we do get down into the teens on occasion when those big Arctic blasts come down from the polar express, as they call them, or whatever comes down. We do get into some really frigid temperature, but here it doesn't last very long. It's here a few days and it's gone, and warms back up. We'll get back up in the upper 30s, low 40s, stay there for a few days, and here comes another one. So it's like a train that just keeps coming, and that's okay. When I was younger, I hated the cold and I loved the warmth. And the older I've gotten, the more I like the cold and the less I like the heat. I always say you cannot take off enough clothes to stay cool in the summer, but you can put on enough clothes or blankets or heat in the winter to stay warm. So,
See, I've gotten to be because I've spent all my years up here in the colding area. I loved the cold when I was young. Now I don't like the cold so much. So I'd rather have the heat now than the cold. So it's a switch when you spend all your life on one side or the other. Because like I always say, you're not going to slide through an intersection at 100 degrees temperature. You know, you won't. We do up here in zero temperature. You can slide through the ice, but you don't have to shovel that heat either. You don't have to shovel. You know.
Oh,
So
that would definitely be a bummer if you had to shovel the heat because with that heat, uh, you know, dehydration sets in really quick.
yeah, very very quick.
Yeah, we
Very.
keep gallon jugs of pickle juice here. Pickle juice is great for cramps if you start to dehydrate or feel like you're going to start cramping up, or even if you do have a cramp. Slam a little shot of pickle juice, and within minutes those cramps are gone, and you're already feeling revitalized. So it's amazing. I read an article on it recently, and it was intriguing because I figured that it was the sodium, vinegar, the ingredients that's in pickle juice that was actually making the difference. But they say actually it has something to do with the portion of your brain that it affects that cuts off the cramping.
Really?
Yeah, it
The
was pretty. If you get a chance, Google that and read
I'm gonna
about it
have to
because
because
it's
that's a weird thing anyway to drink pickle juice. I'm sorry, I'm not a pickle fan
well,
anyway.
it is. And at first, it's kind of tough to swallow, but I mean, once you get used to it, I mean, it's almost one of those things that you acquire a taste for.
Just like tequila, just take the shot, and just go for it, huh? Is that what you
Hey,
do?
I know. Yeah, exactly. I know I'm weird, but hey, down
I
here in the
think
South,
if it
that's what
works.
we do.
Here we just
Uh,
put a pickle on the Christmas tree. That's what we do up here. You put a pickle on the Christmas tree. You don't drink the juice.
yeah, Angela and Jada, they have Angela when she was younger, but Jada has picked it up also. We make pickle sickles. Take the pickle juice, freeze it, and make popsicles out of it. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Good
Wow.
stuff.
Do you
What,
still do
Angie?
that, Angela?
I said it's good stuff.
Good stuff,
Good
she says.
stuff.
Anyway, if you get a chance, Google how pickle juice shuts off the sensories in your brain to stop cramping. It's amazing because, again, I figured it had to do something with the chemical makeup
Yeah, yeah.
of the pickle juice getting into your system and replenishing what you was lacking. Because when you dehydrate, you lose a lot of fluids, essential fluids, and Gatorade was one of those that I used to use and drink, like crazy. And then the more you get to reading about Gatorade and know about it and the sugar content and all that kind of stuff, when you get to be my age, you got to watch your sugar and your carbs. So, had to go searching for something different.
Let's do this. Gatorade Zero. They say is a little bit better. That's zero. Gatorade
Yeah,
Zero.
yeah.
But
And there's a
there's
lot
so many
more.
chemicals in it. That's the problem. There's still so many chemicals. There's not a whole lot of natural in there. That's the thing.
Well, and there's a lot of new products on the market that actually target and that are much more healthy for you
Yeah.
than say Gatorade is. Not knocking Gatorade because I like it. It's really good when it's cold, hot out. You can slam it, makes you feel better instantly. But again, if you're watching your carbs or your sugar, as many of us do when we start to age, kind of have to stay away from some of the products that you always have loved to endure. But hey, you find another way around to find something to replace it with that's healthier.
Sure
So,
do.
all right. Speaking of
Good.
healthy, there's nothing more healthy than that big old something burger, hot topic. Let's roll that and get into that today. All right, so this is something burger, hot topic, two topics of the day that we always pose to our audience. Let you guys tell us what you think, how you handle it. This is such a learning. It has become more than just a learning experience. It's really a way to learn to the point that you take it out and use it in your portrayal, even sometimes your everyday, uh, you know, daily life.
And also
I'd
just
say.
fun. It's a fun to learn what all the other Santas and Mrs. Claus do. It really is. And I see we got a whole list of great ones there. We got Dana and Bart and hey, Spangle's in the house. Hi, Rex, everybody. Charlie, how you feeling, Charlie? You doing okay, bud? Prayers to you, my buddy Charlie. So many good people out there. Randy, everybody out there. Wait a minute. Randy's there. Randy. Hi, Randy. How are you? So good to see AJ,
Mention,
Daniel. Man, we got a whole list of great people again today. But this is a
if you
question.
listed Bart in there, Dana
Bart?
Pastrollo, she's on. Fantastic. Also, I'd like to say hello to Scarlett Kaufman. If she's on, she said she was going to watch today. She works during the daytime, so she hasn't had the opportunity to catch the show very much. She wrote me before the show this morning and asked the link to it so she could try to watch it today. So if you're on, Scarlett, thank you so much for everything that
Yeah.
you and Wade do. SantasCloset.org. And today's show is brought to you by those folks, and we appreciate them and applaud them. Fantastic job they do over there. Got all the goodies that you need. All right, so let's get into these
Yeah.
something burgers here, Randy. I'm going to let
All
you
right,
go ahead,
this is
as we always do, and take that first question and throw it at them and see what we get back.
Man, you're just too polite. You're too kind there, Bob. You really are. Always let me go first. You really are, man. That just is like. All right, guys. It's a kind of an easy question, but when you are at an event, and that an agent booked, let's say one of the large agencies that, or even a local talent agent, books you, and a customer comes up and says, "I want to book you direct the next time." How do you handle that? And if a guest, any other guest there, asked for your contact information, do you give them your business card or do you give them the agency business card? Just curious. Do you, if you're at an agency booking and the client wants to book you direct the next time, how do you handle that? What do you say? How do you handle that? And if another, doesn't matter if it's a mom or dad, comes up and says, "Hey, look, I'd like your business card sent, or Mrs. Claus," and you, is it yours? Is it the agent's? Is it, how do you guys handle that? Just curious. Bob?
For me, if I'm at an independent event, a home visit or something of that nature, another family is at the host family's house and they would like to have a business card, I'll hand them out there for sure. As far as the first portion of that question goes, it's just a flat no. Cannot do it without the agent. That's how you got the gig. That's the best answer for that one. And for me, again, I have mentioned time and time again, and we'll kind of go over it again here real quick. But at the mall, being a Cherry Hill uh, mall set that I work at, you kind of have to be careful about what you do there. You don't have the liberty to start passing cards out, there at that location. But I do have a card that I have that just says clearly states if you'd like to keep up with Santa for the rest of the year, join this group. And it's a Facebook group that I started a number of years ago for my clients at the mall. It's there for them to post pictures and to chat amongst each other, good, bad, or indifferent. It's a great forum. Uh, it's not real active during the summertime, but boy, you start getting close to Christmas, people start posting pictures from last year, talking about how excited they are for Santa coming to town. Can't wait to see Santa. Even, uh, tell their friends, hey, here's this group you should join because I know you go see Santa at the mall and that sort of thing. And it's grown into a pretty good sized group. And again, as employees of a photo company, you don't get to see those photos. Once you've taken that photo, it goes with the family. The rest goes back to corporate. You don't get to see them. So you sit there and work year in and year out, thousands and thousands and thousands of photos, and never get to see them. So this is a way for my clients to post pictures that they've taken with me, and then I have a place that I can go look at them at.
Very smart idea.
Protect,
Very, very good idea. Really, that's, and then
protect
you
my.
keep, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I just gonna say critique myself. You know,
Wow. But that's, I mean, you're keeping the agent as the person that booked you, and
yeah,
which is the way it should be at that time. Um,
yeah.
we got a couple of things here. I totally agree. You can't go off the rail of an agency guy. I'm going to have, this is Ernie. Ernie says you'll have to contact the agent and they will handle it directly. Um, Definitely, I totally agree, Ernie. They were the one that got you that gig. Um, so I think I totally agree. Bart, next one is from Bart. I will book directly the following year. Absolutely. Now, I just want to let you know, Bart, that some agencies in their contracts will say if you book that date, that client again, you still owe them a commission. So check your contract with some of the agencies. I know some local agencies will do that, or some agencies say you can't even work for that particular client for years.
Yeah, no compete clause
No
that's in
complete
there,
compete
and
clause.
usually
So
in the fine print buried in the body of the text. So
yeah, so
read every word and make sure you understand it. If you don't, get an attorney or legal
because I
assistant
mean there
to
are a
look it
lot
over.
of customers, clients that want to they book you for, let's say, 500, and you're only getting three. Well, you could charge them four. They'd save them $100, and you made $100 more by not going to an agent. Now that's always the thing, and of course we'll talk later in the magical moments about why it costs that money for them to do it. But just be careful, Bart, that you in some contracts it will say not all do. So Charlie says, the host asks, it depends on your contract with the agent. That's exactly what we were talking about. Charlie is right. Depends upon your contract with the agent. I know there's some agencies that'll just get you the first gig. Well, think about it. Gig salad, for most people, you've got then the client's information. They can rebook you directly from then on, and they wouldn't know any difference. But I didn't finish Charlie's. I'm sorry about that. If a mom or a dad ask, they have no problem not going through the agency unless there's something in our contracts. Again, that's the whole thing. It's actually covering Santa's and Mrs. Claus's behind, not to put us in a legal bind. It's no different than recording Rudolph. We don't want to put ourselves to reading a book that we're not allowed to. Dana says, if you are booked with a certain agent, we signed an agreement that we would not give out our information. And there's a lot. There's a lot in says you can't. And again, it's exactly what the agent wants you to do, and that's between the two of you. If you don't want to work for the agent, then you don't. Very good, Dana. Griggs, Harry, how you doing? Well, Harry, good to see you from South Carolina. All right, Rex, how are you doing? How's everything in Florida? At least that hurricane was on the other side of the state anyway. You were fine. If the agency's client, then I tell them to contact the agency. Perfect. If the event is one booked through an agency, and again, I constantly refer them back to the agency.
Right.
Some people don't want to hear that. Oh, it's an agent job. You have to call the agency. They want to do it direct, but it is, and it is something that it's kind of how can I say this? Like professional, also not to backdoor the agency then around. So just be careful. Ted, hello Ted, how you doing? The agents have worked hard for their business. Give them their due. They got you the gig. Exactly. Very, very good. Should Bart says I should expand these our gig salads and okay bash leads. Okay, that's great. Yeah, like I said, Bart. Usually gig salad you can those are definitely I think it was lady name was Megan, I believe that she runs I think that's her
Megan and
name.
Gig Salad.
Yeah, gig salad, and
Yeah.
she kind of made the comment that we have no really control over that. And there's no real contract you sign anyway with gig salad that way. Who's the next Facebook user? Sorry. I think the agent should supply you with some cards with their name on it. When I send the balloon artists or face painters, I provide them with some cards. But so let me who is that? Sorry, I
That's
apologize.
Spangle. It's
Oh,
Spangle.
hey Spangle. Yeah, a lot of agencies will also do that. We'll actually give you their business cards, and it'll say whatever ABC agency with Santa and Mrs. Claus or whatever. That's a very smart thing to have. A very smart thing to have. I'm gonna go more comments. There we go. Next one. I was late. No problem. Happy Monday,
That's
Angela.
Parker.
Parker, wow.
He wants
That
us
was
to start
wait a
over
minute,
again.
Parker. That was just a regular line, Parker. Are you sure it's Scott Parker? That was a regular line. There wasn't any cute little saying in there. Are you sure? Scott, are you okay? It didn't. I always look forward to those funny little clips you put in there. Maybe the next one here. Guess next one is Sean. Um, guess his is an advantage of no agent. There is an advantage to no agents. I pass out cards with QR codes, post posters, white for the events, do the marketing and for future gigs, and I have contracts with the gigs. Yeah, that's again the difference we'll talk about, and you guys all know it anyway, between agents and doing it your own. What you have to do for it, an agency, they ask you if you're available, you say yes, or whatever. I agree about $500. Okay, and you go do the gig. They send you a check. Boom, you're done. There is nothing in between, really in between. So, you got to sign something usually, but that's about it.
Now, with all that said, Randy, speaking of agents and agencies, we have Mitchell Allen on with us, watching today.
Hey,
Good to
Mitch.
have you, Mitch.
Yep.
And for me, when you work for someone like Mitch or Gina or even Megan at Geek Salad, you build such a great relationship and friendship with those folks that uh, why would you want to break that bond that you have or burn any bridges? Because again, remember, folks, just like us Santas and Mrs. Clauses talk to each other on a daily basis, agents do too. So you burn one agent, brother, you burn them all. So just be careful. Walk on the right side of ethics, as Rex likes to say. Ethics, ethics, ethics. Say that 3 times real fast.
I mean, it is. It's. I mean, you wouldn't want then somebody else to take your gig.
No.
Later on. They got it. They do all the book work. They do all that. So like all these guys are saying, which 99% are saying, or actually pretty much everybody has said, it's an agency deal, and that's the way it should be. I just didn't. I'm curious what people are saying to their clients. Some people say, I don't know, talk to the boss or whatever. But very good, very good. Definitely
Especially when
good.
you're starting off as a new clause, those first few years, it's hard to build your clientele. It's hard to get yourself established and keep that repeat business coming in while you add to that. And relationship with a great agency, they do the work. You sit back and wait for it to come to you, and you go out and make the money that they worked hard to negotiate for you. Do they take a portion? Yes, they do. They're in business. They are a business just like everyone else, just like we are. And it's a win-win for everyone. And they're the professionals. They're the ones that know how to negotiate those contracts. They know how to make sure that the wording is right. And you've got to put your faith in these agents and agencies because they have not only their best interest, also have your best interest. Because if it was the other way around, you wouldn't want them to come in and take gigs away from you and give to another Santa just because they could.
Yeah, it's definitely right, like you said, Rex said, ethics. I can't say it 3 times, but it's and there's also so many things that places that agents can get into because they're an agency that
Right.
individual can't, and you wouldn't be able to get that gig on your own. So there's like here in the Metro Detroit, there's clubs that they will only deal with agencies, local agencies, not national, but local. So unless you work for that agency, you are never going to work some of these clubs up here or these parades or everything else. So
And you bring up a good point about local. I mean, yeah, you can go out and build your clientele in your local area without an agent. It's
oh
going to
yeah,
take you a lot longer to do it. You're not going to get the best gigs because most of the time, if you stop and think about it, some of those best gigs come through the agencies.
yes,
They're the ones that they reach out to contact. A lot of folks say, "Hey, I need a Santa and Mrs. Claus this year," and I haven't a clue where to start. What do? They hit Google. Boom. What pops up first? Sometimes the Santa does, but most time the agencies are going to pop up if the wording is correct, and therefore the agents are there. They're the first ones that are in contact with new folks coming into the industry. So again, that's where the good gigs, not only in your local area, but they can get you gigs within your state and beyond the state lines. So
very good. Yeah, great guys. Exactly, it's beautiful. Like I said, everybody has the positive Santa and Mrs. Claus feeling about that, which is really
yeah,
good to hear.
Parker says haunt season is here. Working too much is in response to what was wrong with him. He's tired, man. He's been working.
Sorry, I missed that. Those little, I missed that little. Wait a minute, that can't be Scott. It's got to be something cute, funny, sarcastic, whatever it is. Well, not
Yep,
sarcastic, but
absolutely.
Oh goodness. Well, thanks, guys. Man, fantastic. Like I said,
Yep,
proud of yourself for all saying all that stuff because that is the right way to be. Like
always.
Rex says, ethics. Forget it twice. I got it twice.
Well, and moving along, we talk about something burger, hot topics, kind of being a teaching moment, which it is. It's a two-handed deal. My segment here is kind of more of a question towards something that a lot of folks don't know about, especially if you're new to Facebook. But it's an important question. Do you ever check your email spam folder for messages? How many times do you check your spam? For me, for a long time, I didn't check it. I just never thought about checking. And then I got a message one year at Christmas time saying they were so sorry that I didn't respond back. And I went looking, and somehow or another, somebody said something about check your spam. Sure enough, there were several messages from clients in my spam box. So it's important to check your spam, especially the closer to the season you get, but all the time, really. Have you ever been told you had been sent an email but couldn't find it, only to check your spam, and boom, there it was? Spam messages automatically delete after 30 days. So if you don't check that thing at least every 30 days, there'll be messages on there that will clear off 30 days after they're posted. So that's another important factor that you need to remember. On another note, did you know that if you have a Santa or Mrs. Claus Facebook business account, talking about business accounts, it has a separate messenger side to it, a different folder. It's called your other folder. Uh, how many of you ever check your other folder? I know when I pull up Messenger now, I have at the very top, it'll show plus three other. I don't remember exactly how it's worded, but it's another folder that if you're not friends with a person on Facebook in your personal account or your business account, but especially your personal account, then you can't. I mean, you can write someone a message in Messenger, but you're not connected unless you respond back to them. And most of the time, if you're not friends with someone and they send you a message in private messenger, it goes in the other file tab. So again, it's important. Just want to know how many of you check your spam regularly. How many of you knew about all three of these the questions that I posed? Not only spam, but 30 days they delete, and then your business page that you had a separate messenger for your business page. Throw those in the comment box and let's see what everyone has to say. And yes, Rex, I check mine several times a day now, especially since we've started North Pole Cornerstones, because we've had some stuff go in there for cornerstones that we have to watch for every day.
And it is pretty
Once
strange.
we've made that connection with a client, then it automatically sends it to our regular inbox. But again, first contact, sometimes they send it to your spam or they send it to the other box in Messenger. So
To me, it doesn't become consistent either. It's not like, oh, like some odd like dot like Gmail or Hotmail or whatever. It doesn't even seem consistent, at least mine, what goes into my spam thing. So yeah, I didn't check it for a long time till somebody said I sent you something. Now I do it usually once a week. I'll sit and go through and then I'll delete it all. So I clean it out. But yeah, then now it's about once a week because I got burned the same way, Bob, because I didn't check it. Well, I just never got it, but I did. So yeah, and that little red dot in the corner of your thing for instant messenger, check that because I didn't know what that was for a long time, and I didn't know where, like I do something, let's say on Marketplace, I didn't know where that went to, but that showed me where the other chats are too. So
that's right, your
yeah,
other box, your other
yeah,
inbox.
the other box. Yep.
Uh-huh. Parker says, yes, they are always getting sent there to the spam folder. Again, I agree. I didn't realize how much stuff went into spam. You know, you just figure that a big tech company like Google and or, you know, even Meta, Facebook, that they had all that under control. They would know what was really spam and what wasn't. But you can't trust that because stuff gets sent there and it's legit. Big portion of it is not, but it doesn't hurt to look because you never know when that one gig could be sitting over waiting on you that you would die for with big bucks, and you miss it because it's over in the other box. Sean says, I check my spam file because it never fails. I agree with you, Sean. Absolutely. Rex says, Messenger has chat requests where messages from folks you have not friended go. I checked this also multiple times. Very good. That was one of the things I was talking about, Rex. Santa Jeff is with us today. I check mine at least weekly. Ernie says, got to be on top of everything at all times. Santa Mrs. Claus 24/7. You could be missing out on all kinds of gigs, even off season, birthday parties, etc. Good point. Yes, for sure. All right, that again, just a teaching moment, just to refresh everyone's memory. We're fixing to head into the season. Check your spam, check your other box and messenger. Make sure that you're not losing out on any gigs that might be valuable to you and to your clientele. Uh, and again, if a new agent on the East Coast that you've never dealt with before has a gig in your area, and they reach out to you and they could send it over here because you're not friends with them or you never have had contact with them, and there it could be. You never know. So look for that. Now, real quick, Randy, a couple of comments came in on your question after we moved along. One of them was from Bart. He says, this conversation is a two-edged sword with a lot of nuances. I've been approached by these agencies and offered me work at way less than a half of what I had built out. So again, that is a two-sided sword. You never know. Just remember what we talked about is ethics. Think about it. Make sure you're not burning any bridges, and do
Yeah,
what
and
feels
we'll
good to
also
you.
talk about why they do that. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean I mean that's their cost now, not your cost. So we'll talk about that in the magical moments anyway. Give you a little hint to what I'm talking about.
Going back, also one that we missed was from Sean again. She says,
Oh,
I have hired Santas for this season to work with me. So she, as a standalone Mrs. Claus, has hired some new Santas. So again, she's kind of working as her own agent, and we do. If we're independent, we're our own agent. So agencies, it's a lot to take in, but again, just make sure you're doing what's right, and don't make any enemies. You never know when you're going to need a brother or a sister to help you out somewhere down the line. And if you have gigs you can't cover, reach out to someone in your area. Pass those along. Don't leave the clientele hanging. Try to give those to someone that you trust, that you know that will do a good job, someone that Ken is not going to go behind your back and steal something that, for instance, you done a gig for 2 years, and this year you happen to book something earlier before that person reached out. That the dates are conflicting, and nothing else will work out. You have to pass it along. You don't want them to come along and try to take it away from you. So. Put my second parade for this season last week. That's Parker again. Thank you, Parker. That's great, man. You did such a great job on the parade that you do. The video that we shared with our audience when you were on a few weeks back was fantastic. All right, Randy, are you ready to move along to
man, yes,
santascloset.org? Let's get
yes.
this question out there. So we'll be back in just a second.
Hey everyone, Elf Angela Mack here for Bob, Randyl, and Company Live. The show about nothing. Bob, Randyl, and Company Live is brought to you by Santa's Closet. Santa's Closet has been delivering unique, value-packed Santa and Mrs. Claus accessories since 2004. Santa's Closet's main goal is to provide both a superior customer experience with tremendous value for their customers. Santa's Closet brings more than 400 separate products to the Claus community at a reasonable price. Santa's Closet is under new ownership. Let's welcome Santa Wade and Scarlett Kaufman of Tennessee, whom will continue the tradition of bringing you products of unparalleled quality and design. Don't forget to visit their sites at santascloset.org and support their efforts of bringing quality products to the community. This is Angela Mack reminding you to catch our show every Monday at 3 p.m. Central. Thanks for watching. Now let's get back to Bob, Randyl, and Company Live and today's Monday Santa's Closet Trivia.
Just want to say hello and welcome to Connie Bayless, AJ's mom. She's watching today. She's got where she tunes in quite often Is AJ on today? Have you seen AJ?
Yeah, I did see that. Yeah, I did. Yep, I did.
Okay, I didn't catch it when we opened up the show. Just want to make sure he was all right. Hadn't heard from him. Of course, he's going to run for this question as quick as he can. So, Randy, throw it out there and let's see if
Boy, oh
AJ
boy,
can win it.
how can we
Wait a
get
minute,
so-
is he in timeout?
Yeah.
He's in timeout. This one.
Oh, AJ, you're in timeout. So that quick little serious, you can't do it that quick, AJ. So, alrighty, guys, this is a cool question. It's another fill in the blank one. Here we go. The first Christmas tree retail lot is in the United States. Was started in. Then we want the year. In what state? And then by what gentleman? Again, that first question is the first Christmas tree retail lot was in the United States, which started in what year, in what state, and what was the gentleman's name? So, and then, we got another question here. We got another one here. We got two questions. That would take a little AJ. That's right. AJ's in timeout. How did you get them there? Excuse me. Start over. I'll read from here. I can't read it. It was going backwards to me. How did you get them there, and where did you bring them from? Basically, how did they get them there? Where did they come from to get them at the tree lot? I guess is what you're saying.
Yeah. How did you get them there, and where did you bring them from?
That means where were they grown, and where did they go to?
Referring to Christmas trees, exactly.
The Christmas trees. Very cool. That's let me see the answer here. Man, it's a long time ago. It just is. It's hard to believe.
That's right, AJ. AJ says my mom could get it. That's true. She could. She really could.
You're a sly dog, AJ. Yeah. Oh goodness.
Charlie thinks he might still be in timeout. Angela's response is, "No, Charlie, you are free." It's funny after you started using that term here on the Monday show, and we've got where we use it all the time. It's amazing how many commercials that you see on TV that pop up with that free
bit. Yeah. Oh, it's just fun. And that's what we're all here for anyway.
That's right.
Because that helps that a lot, So
that's right.
Yeah, it helps us smile a lot. So man, it's a good question. And it's still, I'll bring this up again. Back in those days, with little clamps to put lit candles on a real tree. It still boggles my mind to think that happened all the time. How many houses didn't burn down? I remember my grandparents had them on there when I used to go to my grandparents' house for Christmas. Real lit candles on a tree. And that was...
and remember, most folks didn't cut their tree down until a day or 2 or 3 days before Christmas. So they were pretty fresh come Christmas time. So the chance of them catching on fire was less likely than folks who go out and cut their Christmas tree in June and put it up and leave it up all year.
Yeah, see, now you go to a lot and buy them, and they've been cut for how many months? Yeah, it's for a long time. But still scares me. It's a live thing that's gonna, wow. We got an answer there. Who's that answer from? That's Scott Parker, but Connie. Oh, hi, Connie. How are you? Man, we got a great group of people again today. Fantastic. Great question as always, Bob. Great question. The way you search for
everyone
these
continue
things,
to work
man,
on that. There's a couple of answers that have come in. I don't think either one of them are 100% correct.
Nope.
Just glancing at them. But keep working on it. We're going to go ahead and do our video here, and we'll be back again in just a few seconds. All right, Elfin Chatterbox News. Today we want to go over what we went over weeks, week in and week out. We want to keep promoting these events. We think they're worthy. Of course, we're going to start with joining us in San Antonio, Texas, February 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, 2024. Two Christmas schools collaborate to form North Pole Cornerstones at Santa Nana Holiday University and Sat Bob, Santa and the Business Being Santa, Lucky Royce, Gordon Bailey. We're not combining two schools. We're still independent schools. We've just come together to put this super class on. This is going to be an annual event that we're going to hold each year. 3 days of fresh, new, innovative curriculum presented by 5 experienced instructors, Deanna Golden, Rex Ray, Chrissy Kovic, Judith Broderick, and myself. And we have a 6th member of the team, Scott Saratine. Many of you know from the Monday and Tuesday shows. He is our logistics expert and audio visual equipment guy. So just real quick, something I haven't done in a few weeks, but I want to read through this real fast. North Pole Cornerstones, a collaboration between two of the most respected sources of holiday education, Santa Nana's Holiday University and Division of Lucky Royce and Santa and the Business of Being Santa, Set Bob's Division of Gordon Bailey, each set a bar for quality and innovative education. We're working hard to bring you a unique, entertaining, and interactive educational experience with topics you might not have heard before at other Christmas schools that you've attended or might not have seen presented in the way that we plan on presenting them. If you've already registered, you should have received a welcome email from Judy, then a message sent from our MailChimp. Everything's going through MailChimp for us account on August 16th. If you did not receive them, please look in your spam. Again, this is where the spam question came up. Still not finding them, reach out to one of the North Pole Cornerstones team members. We would love to have you join us in, for the fun and the festivities. So save the date. That is February 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, 2024, San Antonio, Texas, Marriott Northwest. For more information, visit npcornerstones.com. All right, over to you, Randy.
Wow. Yeah, it's going to be an incredible start to the year of the 2024 year. And that's the start of the year for that. And there's so many great schools going on next year. So take a little bit of that holiday money, set it aside, and go to 1, 2, 3, or whatever you can. We all can't go to all of them. Of course, we know that, but just show it, because this is going to be Cornerstone is going to be a phenomenal one, because the two schools getting together. And again, same like Spangle does, everything's going to be inclusive, which is a great thing. But then in March, down in Columbus, Ohio, is the Master Santa Academy. Master Santa Academy is going to be Lee Andrews and Jeff McMullen. Those 2 days, each going to put on a class each day, all day long. So they are just class gentlemen, performers. Between Ringling Brothers, performing across the United States, across the world, and Santa, they have so much to offer. It's not just going to talk about, of course, coloring beards and everything else. It's going to be making our performance better. And that's what we need to do for our guests, is to make our performance better. For our clients, and that is March 23rd and 24th in Columbus, Ohio. Of course, you can go to Ohio Santa's on Facebook and get all the information from Ben Bellhorn. But of course, we also hear. We're going to talk about what Bob's going to do for that in a minute here for Tuesday Night Live for the scholarship for North Pole NP Cornerstones, but for Ben's and the masterclass, us here at Bob Ranlin Company, we're giving that scholarship. I've gotten a few essays in, so please write that essay and you'll get a paid scholarship to go to see Lee Andrews and Jeff McMullen. Of course, you have to pay for your hotel and travel, but come on, to go there just to write an essay, 100 words or so to learn to go to that class. Again, that'll be sponsored here by Bob Randall and Company. So just don't miss it. That's an incredible start. February, March, bingo. And Bob didn't tell you guys about what Tuesday Night Live is doing for North Pole Cornerstones. I didn't mean to.
Yes, let's go ahead and jump into real quick before we go there, Randy. I want to say that the Monday show, Magical Scholarship is sponsored by Randall Lee Checker Magical Productions. We will always want to get that out there and give you credit for that. School of Santa's 2024, Branson, Missouri, July 18th, 19th, 20th, and 21st. 3.5 full days of curriculum. Keynote instructor this year, we just spoke of him, Jeff McMullen, Santa Mac, Kringle University. Not only one of the top performing Santas in the industry, one of the top instructors, and gosh, man, you can't say enough good things about his clowning years. Everything that he did for the clown world was phenomenal. Limited seats are left for the 2024 session. One session, School of Santas again, 18th, 19th, 20th, and 21st. Now then, on to the Tuesday Night Live TNL Productions. Today's trivia winner not only gets a little goodie package from santascloset.org, but their name also goes into the drawing for the scholarship, $450 value for North Pole Cornerstones in February 2024. So, got two things riding on today, and this is going to be from now until the end of the Bob Randall and Company live preview season and the Tuesday Night Live season each night. Now, tomorrow night we'll have an independent, a third trivia question for that name to go in the hat there. But today we just are including on Monday show, we're going to include it in with our trivia that we always do. So again, we're giving away one scholarship Tuesday Night Live. TNL Production. TNL Production is our complete family. Randy, myself, Angela, and the whole crew that we talk about week in and week out has come together. This is not a scholarship from North Pole Cornerstones, but from TNL Productions for North Pole Cornerstones. Okay, Randy. Gosh, let's go ahead and jump in here and do our preview for the Tuesday show. I'll start off with September 12th. That's tomorrow night. Elizabeth and Tracy Rouge, professional Santa, Mrs. Claus, Branson, Missouri. We're going to find out about their family. Find out how their move to Branson has benefited them not only in their day jobs, but as the Clauses, the Claus vacation. Fantastic couple. They are just so full of energy. I mean, you just instantly another one of those couples that you fall in love with when you meet them. So looking forward to that. We've got a great script for them for that. And Liz reached out and helped put the script together. Fantastic job she did. Following week, we got Ruby Wright, Becky Gilstrap Anderson, Cherry Hill programs coming on, the recruiters. You know, we have them on every year, but there's still quite a few jobs that are open for those who might decide, hey, at the last minute, they want to do them all this year. You know, some of us like doing mall work. Some of us like doing independent work. Some of us like doing a mix of both, you know. So, again, and then from there, we go over to Bob Churchwell. He's Santa Bobo, professional Santa, Burlington, Colorado. He's another new Santa. Rex Ray has encouraged us this season to bring in new folks. That's exactly who Bob is. Can't wait to get him on. And I want to send it over to you to finish this list out, Randy.
Wow. Then it's already in October, guys. Already in October 10th. October 10th. Man, we'll be putting on the scary makeup instead of the Santa stuff then. But Santa Kenny Blair, professional Santa, diverse Santa, which is, man, again, you guys got to look up his suits, the unique ones he has. He's coached all kinds of football, baseball, so he's got that real rah go get 'em type spirit. So don't miss that. You're gonna love Kenny. But look at his clothes, man. That'll be cool. I'm sure he'll bring pictures along that night. And again, I can't wait for this one, October 17th. I'll say it again. Don't miss. It's gonna be Tuesday Night Live. The real Santa Claus is gonna be there to answer questions, and all those ones that Tuesday Night Live's been posting. What would you ask a real question? The real Santa. He's got an answer for him. So the real Santa will be on that. It's going to be a great one, that one, because it's not easy to get a hold of the real Santa. There's that time craziness. They're up there. And man, I don't know how you work that out, Bob, but Bob's got it worked out.
It's been in the making for a year and a half, to be honest with you, Randy.
Wow,
we worked on conflicting of time. I mean, that's the biggest part of it. Mr. Claus has been willing from the very beginning. He said, I'll set aside, Bernard can, and Mrs. Claus can take care of things while I'm with you guys for an hour and a half, however long the show will last. But it was just the time. trying to get him lined up on a Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Central. It was tough. We got it done.
It's going to be an interesting hoot. It's going to be a smile fest. You know it will be. It's going to warm everybody's heart, which we know Santas do anyway.
Well, I
And
can
then
look at a lot of my brothers and sisters in the community, and it brightens my day. It lifts my spirits, and I have a smile. But boy, when I look at the real Santa, it's just something. It takes you over. It's just like I get so excited. He's such a cool dude.
it is. I mean, it is. Because you know what he represents, you know who Santa is, and it brings that full. Then can you believe the 24th of October is the round table, guys, the third annual round table. It's going to be the phenomenal questions that we've been doing all year and many, many more. A group experts to get those last minute kind of are the old shot in the arm before everything starts a couple weeks later. So it's a great time to get that round table quick reminder just before you put that suit on and Mrs. Claus starts going to work, to be reminded of those hard questions, those things that we have to make sure we don't do, don't say, and everything else. A great time, the 24th of October. Then, of course, the Halloween thing.
Next week after that,
show.
Third annual Halloween costume show. The following week after that, which will be the first Tuesday. And now, going back to the Halloween show before we move along, that's actually going to be on a Monday, the 30th, November 30th. We want to let everyone know that. That's the day before Halloween. We didn't want to have a show on Halloween night. Children come to the doors, and all the interruptions and things. So we moved it to Monday. Special time. We, Bob Randyl and Company, will not be on Monday, the November 30th, but we will be part of the Halloween show, 7 p.m. Central, November 30th, third annual Halloween costume show. And then the following Tuesday, I believe is November 7th, I think, 6th or 7th, whatever it turns out to be, is our last show of the year. Send off the family, our Claus family to Christmas. Everyone starts to work shortly after that. If not by the first week, I know if you work for one of the big box stores, a lot of those guys are starting that first weekend. So they may already have been in the chair a night or a day or two before the show comes on. Now, real quick, that brings me to something that I left out a while ago that really needs to be said, and that is this North Pole Cornerstones drawing that Tuesday Night Live TNL Productions is doing will be held on our season-ending show. That's where we will do our drawing for the winner of that $450 scholarship. So that's a night you don't want to miss, folks.
Do they have to be present to win, or is just a drawing?
We hadn't talked about that.
Okay,
I don't know that it is absolutely a must, but it would be nice if they were here. That way,
it would be great if they were here.
Yeah,
I was just on a Zoom last week, and they were giving something away, and they say have to be present to. They went through 3 or 4 drawings before they got somebody. People left, so.
Yeah, exactly. And that happens. It does happen sometimes. Yeah. All right, so that's a rundown of what we have left. If we count those, it's 6, 7, 8, 9 more shows to go. Just 9 more shows. The season wraps up. Randy and I was talking about it in the green room. It's going to be bittersweet to walk away and not do the shows that become such a big part of our life from February all the way down into this year, the first weekend in November. It's a long show season. We love doing it. If we didn't, we wouldn't be doing it. We get much satisfaction out of helping folks. Randy is the same way I am. He loves to share information. He loves to help folks. Again, we're better together, as the Michigan Maps guys love to say, which Randy is part of. And so, keep that in mind. But hey, with all that, we get to go out and do what we love most, and that is perform as Clauses, Santas and Mrs. Clauses. Put on the garb, go out and spread smiles, love, hope, joy, and just lift the spirits of those around Christmas, which is, again, the reason for the season. We're celebrating the birth of Jesus Christ. Okay, very good, Randy. You know what? I think it's time for the trivia answer, and so I'm going to throw it over to you and let you handle that.
All righty, guys. Again, I will quickly say the question again. It is the first Christmas tree retail lot in the United States was started in, that answer year is 1851 in New York. not New York City, but it's New York, and by a gentleman named Mark Carr. That was the first answer. Then how did it get there and where did it come from? It came from the Catskill Mountains by ox.
All by 2 ox sleds.
Can you believe that? Ox sleds. Isn't that crazy?
Now, you know what's ironic?
That's
Is the gentleman's last
Catskill
name is
Mountains.
Carr.
Wow.
Ironic that the gentleman's last name is Carr. But
Had
he
no
had to
idea
pull
there
up
was
by
going to
2
be a
ox
car
sleds.
either. Had no idea there was going to be cars. Not in 1850. Well, 1851. Nah, there's still nobody was even. They might have been thinking about it, maybe. But where did the first one come out? 18092 or something like that. The first kind of car. Came out?
Yeah, I don't believe in 1851 there was such thing, but just
Yeah,
ironic,
no.
and it's spelled Carr. So
R. Yeah, there's 2 R's. Yeah.
but still, it's just kind of ironic. His last
It
name
is kind of unique.
Mark Carr, but he had to haul him by 2 ox sleds from the Catskill Mountains. All right, did we have a winner, Angela?
Yeah.
Who we got? Charlie Johnson. Boy, I tell you what, Charlie, he's gonna, you know what? He's gonna be able to go in business with all the stuff he's won.
I've noticed some store on eBay that popped up lately. I don't know.
I don't think Charlie did that. Charlie loves performing.
Charlie
and
never,
singing,
no way, man.
and,
That is one wonderful.
I'm sure he
gentleman.
has plenty of places that he gives up the goodies out that he
Uh,
receives. So
that's
very good,
wonderful.
Charlie. Congratulations, my friend. As always, you are always Johnny on the spot. If it's not you, it's AJ. And if you two are in timeout, then somebody else comes along and grabs it. But you guys are truly 2 of the top winners on the Monday and Tuesday night live show.
Fantastic.
All right, Randy. That was pretty magical, but there's nothing like.
You see his comment,
No comments.
Charlie.
Setting up Esther's shop, Bob. Good job, Charlie. Funny stuff. All right, again, that was pretty magical, but there's nothing as magical as Randyl Lee and his magical moment. Randy,
See you in a minute.
we'll get it right after the lead in.
You got it. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Magical Moments again. Thank you again, as always, for letting me speak and have some fun here and talk about stuff. And I kind of posed a question earlier today about agents. And that's something that, again, I myself have been using agents since I think I did my first agency job when I was 15. It was M&M International Circus Productions. I did the 1973 auto show at Cobo Hall. I think it was my first agency I worked for, and started working for agents ever since, and learning the highs and lows of reasons why you do an agent. And a lot of people are conflicted about, why should I do that? I get paid half the amount and this and that. But like I said earlier, they do a lot of the work. And again, you don't have to work for them if you don't want to agree with that price. That's the whole thing. We don't have to. And I learned that a long time ago, that if I agreed to work for, I don't know, $200 for a performance, I should be happy. That's what I agreed. That's what I would give my all for in a magic show, let's say, throughout that. And if the agent got 300 or 400, that's, maybe it doesn't sound very good, but they got me the booking. They took care of worrying about getting the paycheck. They wrote the contract. They do all that stuff. And 99% of the time, if you do a good job, you will definitely be hired again, because that's what a lot of agents like to do. Then they know if you did ABC client, you were happy, they know they have a rebooking. So you have a rebooking too. So it's something you give back to the agent as the agent gives to you. Now, there are some agents out there, of course, that, are a little bit, I went through my many years. In fact, it was a Santa gig that I was doing. And I saw an agency was this was a local agency, not one of the national ones. Oh, can you still do it for this money? I think it was 275 for, I don't know, an hour and a half or something. And can you do it again? Until I saw what she really got. Same thing. She got 500. Now, some agencies aren't real ethical. We know that. But of course, there are many, many, many that are. And I'll say many that are, of course, are the big ones that we go through as Santa and Mrs. Claus. You know, there's nothing better than Hire Santa. They are great. Mitch and Jenny are just phenomenal. As loyal as the day is long and everything else. You know, they've got a Rolodex full of Santas. They can't always give you tons of work. Of course, they can if you do a full-time thing for them. Of course, Gina at Nationwide Santa, phenomenal guys. Same thing. Honest, trustworthy, will work for you. Cherry Hills, they'll be coming up too. Same thing. They have so many, you know, they employ over 1,000 Santas during the season. So they give tons of work to lots of Santas. So again, that's maybe the national. Of course, there's so many other national. There are, you know, hire Santa, hire a Santa or whatever the other one is, or Santa for hire or whatever. And there's some other agencies that do national stuff, party something, but they do all the work. All you have to do is sign that contract if you agree with the money, and then if you don't agree, that's your own fault for signing the contract. If they make twice as much or 3 times as much, then you go do the gig and you're done. You just wait for that check to be either direct deposited or mailed to you or PayPal or whatever you get. But like we said earlier, make sure you read those contracts. If it's a national gig, national thing, if it's a big box store, if it's whatever, read those contracts. Sometimes you can't go back to work there for another company, or even your local. There's your local. There's so many local talent agencies in the big cities. I don't care if it's Atlanta, if it's Tampa, if it's Dallas, Detroit, wherever. There's tons of local agencies you can contact. Go see them in your casual suit, white. You're all dressed in, you know, your white beard and everything. Go there and give them some promos. But you give them promo material, don't have your information on it. Don't have your phone number. Don't have your website. Don't have things like that. Go there with your pictures, your photos, professional photos, and talk to them about Santas. Now, I'll have to admit, like it's like a magic guy. They need a magician. They've got a file cabinet full of Santas. They've got a file cabinet full of magicians. But if you can get a few extra dates with them, if you can get a few extra gigs that you can't get on your own, and that's what I think is wonderful about agencies also, is there's a lot we can, at least in my area here, Metro Detroit, there's a lot of places, like a lot of the country clubs. I'll say like a country club called Oakland Hills. People know that's been the PGA, the US Open, I mean, everything. It's a multi-million dollar club, one of the biggest clubs. And there's no way I could go there as Santa and say, hey, look, I want to be your Santa. It won't work. They have to go through an agency. That's what they do. So work, you know, but remember, the agent wants same thing as we should do anyway. Smile, you look good, you act good, and everything else. We're going to do that anyway when we do our own dates. And of course, when we do our own dates, you know, we take care of everything. We take care of the contracts. We take care of the mapping. We take care of all those things, everything else in billing, and worry about getting paid. We don't have to do that if we go through an agency. Now, of course, that's why they get their cut, and that's why you get your cut if you do it all yourself. You know, house visits, not many agencies do house visits. There might be some, but that's very, very little. Like Gig Salad does an awful lot of Santa house things. But again, like I said earlier, Gig Salad, you can kind of go around that a little bit. Actually, Megan said that on the Zoom I saw a couple weeks ago with her, so which kind of shocked me a little bit, but because they got you that first date, should play with it a little bit the next time. But don't count out agencies. Don't count out doing it yourself either. Do a little bit of both. Do a little bit of both, because if you're retired or something, you've got plenty of time to work days, nights, if you want to work that much, of course. But there's some, like I said, some gigs that you can't. But don't be upset with an agency just because they take a bigger chunk, because they're doing all the work, and you are the performer. Yes, you are. You spend a lot of money getting your suits and your training and everything else. But it's no different than if they're hiring a band. A band practices all the time. It's the same thing. We train the same way as a band does, just I guess not same way, because we don't, well, some guys sing, but so do a little bit of both. But we're very fortunate in this business. We have some very loyal, very fantastic agencies that can book you nationally and make you five, six, eight, 10, $20,000 a year, and do some gigs. I mean, you would never get an over the seas gig on your own. Never. It would never happen. So give it a shot. It's I've been through some crazy agency through all my years. Oh my goodness, the stuff I could tell about those. And the shady and sometimes treating you like you're a child. Some do, and we know we're not children, but they keep hounding you until they get to know you, and then they trust you, and you go on. Now, just because we look old with a white beard doesn't mean some of us are trustworthy, and because you're somebody new, and they might not book you, and they might book another Santa because again, we are Santa, and I've said it every week since I've been doing thing. They want to book you. Remember, to make you stand out. So when you do an agency, make sure they remember you. If you do your own gig, remember you, not the other Santas. And the other Santas are fantastic. Don't get me wrong, or Mrs. Clauses. But you want to help book yourself. So do everything you can for an agency job or your own gig to stand out. Stand out. Stand out. Stand out. Whistle while you work or something. Do something. Thank you, guys. I like to rant for a while, but just do a little both because, like I said, I'm very happy. I get to do both myself. I get to do local agencies, national agencies, and independent. Man, I can't be. I'll knock on wood. More thankful than that, and I hope you guys can enjoy the same thing through the season. Thank you again, as always. I am so blessed to be a part of Monday and everybody that shows up. I can't thank you guys enough for joining us.
Man, great information. Randall's magical moment. Public service announcement brought to you by.
And it is free as always, guys. Never forget
Brought
that,
to you
guys.
by free. That's right.
I'm brought by my
Absolutely. Gosh,
favorite F word. That favorite F word. Besides,
that was such good information you had there, Randy.
I have another very good.
Absolutely.
I have another good F word I've been using a lot lately, though. I'm sorry to say. Food.
Wait.
But that's my other favorite F word I've been using a lot lately.
Well, it's our caveman mentality. You know, we're just old bears and we like to put on a little bit for the holiday season. You know, it's going to get cold out and we're going to need a little extra energy and a little extra girth to be the jolly one. So, hey, food is a good thing.
I'll be glad when I don't get this caveman look so much. I get it white. It'll be, I'll feel a lot better. It's just getting this. People kind of walk along the other leg. They like step a few steps over. You know, it's like, oh, this guy looks kind of scary, all burly looking. And as soon as it becomes white, they'll just, hi. It is such a crazy thing, though. You know, my hair will be wild and the way it looks now, and the beard's all gray and funny looking, and they will. No. Don't walk near that guy. It becomes white. They'll be waving and coming over and saying hi. Same person, but just a different hair color.
Well, and, you know, for me, if I bleach, I whiten up. I got dark spots. I've got some roots showing. It's been since Branson since I bleached. But, you know, for you, going into the transition back to your magical appearance that you have, you know, throughout the year for your performing, I just love to look at our promos, our lead-in promos, where the picture of you and you're all white. It's just, it makes me smile, man. And on top of that, the transformation from who you are here to who you are at Santa is truly magical. I mean, it's really cool. Love it.
We all have I have different, of course, different entertainment personas. You have to, you know. And it's just it's hard to get out of. Like in a couple weeks I'll start turning white, and I still have a fair amount of magic shows to do during October. And it's like, I gotta not have the Santa feel, even though I have somewhat the Santa look. So but man, I am fortunate. I am so lucky. I am lucky.
Yeah, Rex, absolutely. Something I've been thinking about, been putting a lot of thought into it. He's telling me to not forget to video my next bleaching for a segment that we're going to be doing. But yeah, I put a lot of thought into that, and how we're going to present that and everything. So thanks for the reminder. I'll go back up there and pick up one real quick that I saw a moment ago. This is from Parker. He said he talked to Bob, the caretaker, and he will be coming for the Halloween show on October 30th. So we will have the world famous Bob, the caretaker, with us. You know, he is an employee of the month, 12 months out of the year.
Fantastic, man. He's one scary looking dude. That picture was that was bizarre looking. I'm sorry, that was creepy. And Ted,
Parker's back in style. He says, "I wish I had roast to get dark on top. Rub it in, Bob."
Yeah, some are missing that hair on top. Thank goodness I still have that stuff there, but
yeah,
you never know. You never know.
We're almost 70. I'm fortunate to still have hair on top. If I didn't know, I would sport it. Papa always says, "I am what I am."
I am what I am. That's right. My grandfather was 96 when he passed away, and he still had a full head of hair. So I think I'm pretty close. So
Good to go.
I think I got that one, hopefully. Hi, Ted. Ted says, I am fortunate enough to have worked with several different agencies because of that. In the past 15 years, I haven't had to do much marketing, which you don't. You just, it saves you promotional material money and everything else. And all that, it's cost you money. The agents work as hard. They work very hard for their money. They have to pay their staff. And I feel fortunate to work for them. Yeah. And that's the thing. We don't need postcards. We don't need you get one picture taken and the agency has them. So it is less cost. That's why they take and they get the gigs for us. We just show up and bring the smiles is basically what it is. We do a lot more than that. Don't get me wrong. And we do a lot more than that, but
yeah. And there's some great agents out there. We mentioned Mitch Allen and Hire Santa, Gina Bacon, Nationwide Santas. You mentioned Cherry Hill, Ms. Matt, Stephen Mike Bordelot, great folks. Everyone who works for the Bordelots or Bordelays, however you say that, absolutely love working for that company. Treat you like family. They have big get-togethers where it's like a big family gathering, but there's some really great agencies out there, independent agents. Just find one you like and are able to work with and make that magic happen, right?
Yeah. Oh,
all right. So, hey, let's move along. Let's go ahead and jump into our sneak peek into Santa's Toy Catalog 2023. We have Elf Annabelle with us again this week, and she's got a great segment put together that she videotaped for us, and we're going to play that at this point. We'll be back on the other side of this. Fantastic. Here we go. We're going to run this real quick. Each week, we like to highlight 2 new toys set to become, 2 of the hottest toys for 2023 season by top sites on the web. And so we're going to go ahead and run this segment, and we'll talk about it on the other side.
Elf Annabelle here, and welcome to a sneak peek into Santa's Toy Catalog 2023. Brought to you by Bob, Randyl, and Company. In this episode number 3, we take a look at what experts say will be 2 of the hottest plush toys this holiday season. First, we take a sneak peek at one of children's favorite TV and big screen shows, Paw Patrol. This year's Paw Patrol movie, the mighty movie to be released in September at the box office, and now your child can team up with their favorite Paw Patrol pup Skype. Mighty Pup Sky is 12 inches tall and designed with genuine movie styling, super soft fur and fine embroidered features. Dressed in her genuine pink Mighty Pups team uniform, Sky looks just like she does on the big screen and is a must-have for fans and collectors of Paw Patrol toys. With Paw Patrol toddler learning toys, kids can explore his or her imagination and develop their motor skills through pretend play as they relive their favorite scenes from the movie. Mighty Pups Sky plush toy can be found at Walmart for only $14.97. While on the subject of Paw Patrol, we want to be sure and give all my Claus friends a Paw Patrol update on other new characters. Paw Patrol Rubble and Crew was released in January. The newest Paw Patrol characters are Grandpa Gravel, Auntie Crane, Mix, Charger, Wheeler, and Motor. All from the Paw Patrol Rubble and Crew series. This will be good information for all my Claus family to know this season just in case children ask. Now, moving on, I did promise another plush toy, but this one is a little more complex as well as coming in at a higher price, but surely a toy that is picked to be a big hit. Furby Coral, 15 fashion accessories, interactive plush toys for 6-year-old and up, voice-activated animatronic. It can be found on Amazon for $65.99. Give children a friend who's always ready for BFF time with this incredibly interactive toy for girls and boys that moves, talks, sings, lights up, and even responds to speech. Meet Furby. This curious little creature is an incredibly interactive toy friend with 5 voice-activated modes and over 600 phrases, jokes, songs, and so much more to discover. Tell Furby what you want to do with these 5 commands: dance party, copycat, tell my fortune, let's chill, and light show. Furby also responds to hugs, pats on the head, shaking, and feeding its pretend pizza charm, or your finger, yum. The more they play, the more fun they can unlock. As Furby would say, Danola. Or, party time. Furby and all related properties are trademarks of Hasbro. Furby comes with a 4.7 out of 5 review, and one review from the United States even goes on to say, I love this Furby. I would say this is a solid step above the last 2 generations. It doesn't require an app, and has no internet connectivity, which for me were huge pros towards this model. Elf Annabelle reminding my Claus family to be prepared this season, so here you have this week's toy review for episode number 3. Just a couple more quick messages if I can. Santa Randyl Lee, I am a huge fan of yours, and so in your honor I want to wish everyone a magical week ahead. But before I go, Santa Bob and Elf Angela, you both are on my list of those I highly regard for all your dedication to helping others in our Claus community. At the North Pole, we Elvins often speak in our native language. El Sila Lamina Vomentiangwo. Translated means, a star shines upon the hour of the meeting of our ways. Till next time. Yes, till next time. Annabelle Tacindio, Chatterbox reporting for the Claus community. Back to you guys in the studio.
Annabelle is dynamite. She has it right on the money. And she's talking about the new Paw Patrol. She's right. I had a good time with the Paw Patrol guys there a couple weeks ago. We were at the show together. So don't miss the Paw Patrol movie. I was there. She's so right. The Paw Patrol is a big thing with Sky and all those guys. But man, that furry is pretty cool. Her 600 sayings. She's adorable. Man, she's
Yes,
giving us all great information.
very good. And I'm surprised again now that $14.97 Walmart price is only purchase online price, but that's pretty inexpensive for a 12-inch tall plush toy.
Yeah, yeah.
So I was really, really taken back by that. And then on the other side, the Furby that she referred to, Coral, it can be found for various prices, anywhere from low 60s up to mid 70s. Average price was around $65.99 at Walmart. And I mean, all the different commands and interactive. And I mean, you remember, I guess it was Teddy Ruxpin.
Yeah,
Back
Teddy
in
Ruxpin. He was a
I
lot
think
more
in the
than that a
80s.
long time ago.
Oh yeah, well this kind of reminded me of that when she was talking about this was one of the things she wanted to highlight this week. because of the way it talks and interacts and different commands and that sort of thing. But fantastic job, Annabelle. We love her. We love her. We love her. She's such a great joy to work with. So much fun and does such a great job with digging in and finding the facts for these things.
Because we will have
All
to
right,
answer all
Randy.
those questions this year in a few weeks, not many weeks away. We're gonna have to know those things, and don't forget that check out your papers and all that to know even what's on television. Don't forget that you got to know
Yeah,
the
watch the children's shows on the weekends where they talk about so many of these products that we'll be hearing about that the children find out about through the TV. If you're at the grocery store, take a 5 minute stroll through the toy aisle. Look at the boxing to see how it's boxed. Read the fine print on there. Look and see what things that are offered. A lot of things that we know about year after year after year. At last week, we talked about the new Barbie Dream House 2023. Know the subtle differences between the two, the original and the new. Find out about these new characters that Paw Patrol has put out this year, a whole host of new characters, and you're bound to hear some of this year from the children. So be prepared.
and get to know their TV shows. That's the cartoons they watch. Like first couple years, I didn't know who Bluey was. Bluey, who? This was many years ago, of course, but I didn't,
Yeah.
even Peppa Pig is not a big thing anymore. But things like that. Just look into. You might not have to watch a whole series or a whole show, but get to know. So when you're interacting with the children, that all
Well,
the information.
I still have children a few each year talk about Peppa Pig, or even last few years I've had not the same child either. It's different children bring little Peppa Pigs with them,
Yeah.
and once we get our pictures, then I ask Mom, can I hold Peppa for just one moment? And I'll put Peppa and I'll grab her by her hands and put her on my knee and get the camera to snap a picture. That's for the family.
Yeah.
That's another pose that they didn't come to the mall to expect to get, but yet their child is going to want that picture of Santa and Peppa together. So, I mean, it's a good selling point, way to upsell your photos. Take those plush toys if they bring them and use it that way. Politely ask if you can take a photo with just the toy. Again, you mentioned Bluey. Bluey was hot last year. I had in the beginning of the season last year, I hadn't a clue. And the first day that it was mentioned, I had to come home and research real quick to find out what the heck is Bluey.
Bluey.
And so it's good to be rehearsed. It's good to know. Fantastic. Great job, Randy, as
Great job.
always.
Thank you, Bob.
Does anyone have any questions that you want to put up? Let's see. Charlie says, a great place, a great price on the Paw Patrol. Paw Patrol figurines are still popular handouts on the Santa
Yeah.
train that he's on. Parker says, I have jumped on Spangle F delivery wagon. People are loving it. I'm building a magic recharge jar from Blue Mason Jar now. Fantastic. Very good. All right, and one other comment up here before we go. Ray Bradshaw, thank you, my friend. Just want to say thank you to everyone for the last 24 or so hours that has reached out to me and my family and the passing of our step grandson, Spencer. 32 years old, he went to be with the Lord. No matter how prepared you are, there's still always hope down to that last breath, and we had such good hope. Just a couple of weeks ago, he had improved, sitting up in bed, eating. Looked like he was on road to recovery, and the blood infection came back. They had to do a fourth surgery on him. He went through 4 surgeries in 3 weeks. Took a toll on his body and his organs, and he went to be with our Lord this 2 days ago. Just thank you to everyone who reached out. It's a sad time in our family. Our son and daughter-in-law and her whole side of the family is grieving very hard on this one. 32 is way too young. We know he's not in pain anymore. We know he's in the presence of the Lord. That gives us a joy in our heart to know, and we know that we'll be reunited if the Lord sees fit someday. So thank you, everyone. Thank you. It means a ton. Sometimes you feel like you're alone when tragedy happens. Randy, you've said this many times. It's so great to have brothers and sisters and friends in this community that truly care about you, that reach out, not only in private messages, but just across the board on social media. Thank you.
It's a beautiful community when it comes to when you're hurting. It really is. It's and we all have horrible things that happen throughout our lives, and that's what's amazing about this community. That there's warm thoughts and cares to support your pain. Again, like Bob said, we all know they go to a far better place, but it still hurts that they're gone. There's no doubt about it. So
Does at 32, you've got half or more of your life, ahead of you, and so many good things that he could have done. Such a good kid. From the moment we met him, we fell in love with him. Always a big smile, always upbeat, always there to lift your spirits. And he's going to be missed terribly. We'll have family time together at the funeral home on Friday night, and then Saturday, a 2-hour window there at the funeral home for Prince to come in and a small gathering there. So thank you so much to everyone again. Appreciate you very much. Randy, you got anything that you want to say in closing?
no, guys, again, thank you. Just all I say is thank you, guys. Again, thank you for everything and being a part of our Monday and Tuesday night live shows. Can't be any more thankful for everyone. If it's a smile, if it's a prayer, if it's whatever, and it's all like Bob said, it's all free. Don't miss. You can watch us again later. It's all free. All this laughter, all this fun, all this smiles, all this education is free, 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 and got to do it with a smile, guys. And that's what we all need more in life than ever is smiles, because there's so many crazy tragedies out there. So that's our job.
We love these shows. We absolutely love these shows. We love the folks that support us. We love sharing, as I said, and giving to the community. It's something that these shows, something I thought needed long before we came up with the concept. And both the Monday and the Tuesday shows have blossomed into much more than I ever could have dreamed. My vision was, to be able to help others. And
Thank you, Bob, for that.
if just one of you, just for a moment, anything, one little tidbit of information that will make you a better performer, a better human, than our time spent putting these scripts together, our times setting up these backdrops, doing the things that we do, has all been well worth it. Thank you so much for joining us today. As well, tomorrow night, we got Tracy and Liz Roosh on tomorrow night. Fantastic show lined up. The Claus Vacation is the name of their event that they do. And they're in Branson, Missouri. It was at School of Santa's last year. This year, they will be 2 of our volunteers helping us in San Antonio in February. So get out, learn something, share with others. Always keep your heart in the right place, as Randy says. We'll see everyone again back here on Monday, and please come join us tomorrow night. It's going to be a great show. Thank you so much, Randy. Thank you, Angela.
It's free, guys. Thank you guys so much.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Thank you, guys.